So I'm in my last year of medical school, which is it's crazy. It's crazy to think. I started this channel 4 years ago. Well, I technically started before that, but I really started posting more when I started medical school 4 years ago. Which is insane to think about. Like, I remember making my first video and thinking, this 5 years would be like, a long time, and it would be an eternity before I got to final year. And I'm here now. It's crazy to think. So this video is a lot less formal. I'm kind of as you can see, I'm about to go to school. I'm probably not gonna talk for too long. But I kind of just wanted to, give an update about what, school is like, and, just a little bit about what, I just finished and how I, thought my experience leading up to this point was. So, as a very dramatic person, throughout medical school, I have always given, a title basically to the year. So because I did theater. If you saw my video, you would have seen that I did theater basically my whole life. So I kind of, you give it like, it's like a scene, you title a scene. So I would consider each year as a different scene, and you have your acts inside of the scene. Or is it the other way around? I can't remember. But basically, the first year, I would have called that one Baby Steps. More so because I'm, even though obviously not a baby, but like I'm new to the program, I'm a baby in the program, I don't really know what's going on. Even though it was my second year of university, it was my first year of being a medical student. So I kind of call that one Baby Steps. And then the second year, you're a little more acquainted, so I kind of call that one Wet Feet. You get your feet wet, you kind of you know what's going on a little more. You kind of know what's going on, but you still don't. But it's a little better than first year. You're acquainted with what's going on, and you're getting the hang of being a medical student. And the third one, it's kind of like it's not really a play on words per se, but it's like it has like a medical reference as well. So the third one I call the transition zone. So there's a lot of transition zones in anatomy. You have the transition zone in your esophagus. You have a transition zone in the female reproductive system. So like it's kind of like that, but like more so call it transition zone to relate to the fact that we're transitioning from being pre-clin students to clinical students. And then fourth and final year, fourth year, I call it the sprint marathon. Because when you really think about it, the year feels long, but because the rotations are so short, it feels like you're running for your life. So it feels like you're running a marathon, but you're sprinting in that marathon. And as you can see by the title of this video, I'm calling my final year The Last Dance. Overly dramatic, but that's just me, So yeah, The Last Dance, because it will be my sixth and final year of university, but my final year of medical school, so fifth year of medical school. And yeah, it's the last dance. It's my last, my last dance with medicine as a student, and just kind of, trying to figure out, how to be a senior, and how to transition from being a medical student to an intern. Because that's basically the goal of this year. I'm working towards becoming an intern, not becoming a specialist, none of that, baby steps. So I guess I just want to speak a little bit about how I feel going in. It's currently my third week of final year, so I really wanted to make this video in like the day before my first week, but I was having some trouble getting back to Jamaica. So I told myself I'll just get a little more settle down. Wipe my face. Jamaica is extremely hot. I told myself I wanted to get a little more settled down and kind of just get acquainted with my new rotation and the persons there, and just set a foundation so before I get back into content creation and stuff like that. So I'll say I'm pretty much settled. So I'm currently on my senior pediatrics. It sounds so crazy to say senior, like I've been a junior forever. And now, yeah, I'm one of the seniors now. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, I'm on PEDS now. Most people know I want to do PEDS, well, PD Search. So I'm kind of in my element right now. You know, I really like kids and I like just pediatric content. I just love the content of PEDS. So I think I'm having a good time. The place I'm doing my rotation, I also like the teaching style. I like they basically, you have a lot of independence at that site. You get to use your hands a lot. So I think I really like being there. But overall, I like for the year, I do not want to put my, like I said, like I'm a senior now, but I also don't want to pressure myself and make myself think that I need to know everything right now. You know, I don't think it's possible, and that's the entire reason why you have a team of people. Because if we were expected to know everything one time, there would be no reason for us doing this program for so long, you understand? So you really have to understand what you need to know at this point and not try to do too much, because you can burn out easily. Like for the first 2 weeks, I've been constantly feeling like I need to, you know, do the most, and I need to make sure I know everything before. Like I was on nursery last week and I was like, yeah, I need to know all the nursery topics. And it's just like, sometimes you have to be realistic. Like I think I'm just, you know, trying to be as good as I can, and I think that's, you know, that's a good approach to it. But I just don't think I can know everything right now, and I have to be realistic with myself and say, okay, well, how much should I know? Should I know for my exams, and how much should I know for being a doctor in general, like being an intern? So, you know, I'm just trying to strike that balance right now. But like I said, it's week 2 of 50 weeks of school. So I'm bound to get better, and I'm bound to, you know, get a better routine and learn what I need to know better, and just overall, you know, become more comfortable with, you know, being in the setting and stuff. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited for the year. I was extremely excited before final year even started, and excitement has kind of kept up. I mean, definitely a little tired because I have to take the bus really early. Like it's 6:30 right now, so I have to take the bus super early every day. But I'm pretty excited for the year, mostly because I'm about to finish. I'm God willing, I'm gonna be a doctor next year. I'm gonna work my butt off though. Like I don't plan on relying on, you know, just, you know, like, you know, in primary school, secondary school, you can coast and stuff, but now you really can't. Like you really have to put in the work. So I'm not like coasting off of like, oh yeah, you know, I always pass like that. I'm not doing that. Like I really want to ensure that I have a good foundation this year, and that one of our consultants, he always says, try to learn things properly now, so that you're not, you know, having to like relearn things in the future, especially closer to final MBBS time. But yeah, this is gonna be a crazy year. It's 6 rotations in total, 5 core rotations. The one we call core rotations are the ones that, like, well, actually it's 4 core rotations when you think about it. Core rotations are the ones we consider having OSCEs for, and then there's 2 other rotations, Com Health and elective. Those aren't as taxing, well, especially elective because you don't have an exam. But Com Health, the OSCE isn't as rigorous as the other rotations, so they really call medicine, peds, surgery, and ops the core rotations. So it's just constant. We don't get breaks. It's just like every single day we have every single week we have to just go to school and just try our best until we finish our 50 weeks of school, and then we get a small break, and then we prepare for final MBBS. So they always tell us that the goal is to, you know, have final MBBS in mind every day when you study and stuff like that. But I think mentally I kind of just want to exist in the rotation that I'm currently on. Obviously, keeping in mind that I need to be preparing for final MBBS, but I also want to grasp as much as I can from the current rotation without adding unnecessary anxiety onto myself so early on in the game. You know, obviously I'm gonna prepare for this exam. I'm obviously gonna put in the work, but I think you have to pace yourself. You have to be realistic and pace yourself, because I need the energy for when I really, really need to be studying for that exam. But yeah, I always say I can't promise consistency, because the reality of it is our program is really tough. Like we're expected to be on our A game 24/7. We're expected to be at school every day, and as a senior it's a little different. The expectations are a lot higher than when you're a junior student. You're expected to know things even when you haven't learned it, right? And it's a bit ironic, because why would we be going to school if it, anyway, that's a topic for a whole other day. But you know, like I said, my goal is to just learn while I'm on the rotation, enjoy final year. I know it's gonna be a tough year, but the whole point is like you're working towards that goal, but not overly stressing yourself beforehand. You understand? So it's just pace, being very confident when you're at school, trying, just literally just going to school and trying your best. Like that's what matters the most. So yeah, it's the last dance. This is my final year of university. I definitely plan on doing postgraduate training, but for now we're focusing on finishing med school, finishing UE, and just getting to that finish line and just finish it really strong. So I'm just, you know, putting this video out there to set the tone for the rest of the year, and to also keep myself accountable, because, you know, putting this out there is me being vulnerable and saying like, yeah, this is me trying my best to ensure I get to the end and become a doctor next year. But in God's name, working hard and just, you know, showing up and trying my best, we will get there. We will get there, one starfish at a time.